Idolatry is when we placate or satisfy our heart with something that isn't God. And God tells us to flee from that. And the reason is that we can face so much disappointment when we put our trust in the things of this world, things that are uncertain, things that are temporary. And so God tells us to flee from idolatry, because if we are giving our heart to these things, it's going to open up the door for the enemy to steal from us. So the thing is, we will never be truly satisfied with things that are of this world, because we are spiritual beings and you cannot satisfy spiritual with something natural. So we were created in God's image to be loved by Him and to love Him back and enjoy Him forever. So we cannot satisfy our hearts with things that are temporary, because maybe we will enjoy it for a time, but then that time will run out, and then we need to move on to something else. And it's a cycle, and those things can also be stolen from us. But the Lord Jesus Christ can never be stolen from us. And when we allow Him to be in our hearts, and for us to just surrender to Him and take refuge in Him and put Him as number one, therefore putting just all of your faith and trust in Him, then He will never disappoint. So we never have to be facing that stuff, that disappointment. And some people may say, well, I've been disappointed before, so how can you say that God won't disappoint? Well, a lot of times what happens is we have our own will or our own way that is not the best thing for us, and we expect God to bless it. And then so when that thing falls apart, we get upset and we think that God let us down, but He really never did. He always has our best interests in mind. So God will sometimes tear things down in our life. He'll do some pruning so that we can be doubly blessed than we were before if we had never had that thing pruned out of our lives. So it's always so important for us to trust God and just to really believe in what His plan and vision is for us in our lives, because the thing is that many times we are so, we reduce our worth and value to that which is on a natural level, just because the world's voice is saying that that's where our value should be. And our value can never be measured in that which is natural and of this earth, because we are worth so much more. We're worth the blood of Christ, God's own Son. So we need to align ourselves with the fact that our worth and value is so precious and so great to God that He says all of that earthly stuff, he has so much better for us. He's saying, I have so much better for you. So if you have been kind of just looking at things around you to try to fulfill yourself, it's super easy to just turn and change your mind, right? You just change your mind. And if you have a hard time changing your mind, it could be just that you have a place in your heart that God still needs to heal. And so you can ask Him to go into that place and just heal the brokenness that's in there. If you are having some kind of go-to and you don't want to have it, you want to fill that place with God, but you don't know how, God is able to heal your heart. And so He can show you how to what to believe, and just to give him that lie and receive his truth in that place where you need it. But God has your best interests in mind, and so he will never disappoint. And if we just put our faith and trust in him, he will show you your value, that it's so much more than anything that this earth can offer.